Hello and welcome to the Monday night live stream, aka Hangout stream, but also known as the chill stream, baby. With yours truly, the man, broadcasting from behind the curtain. You know who I am. Because if you don't know by now, you can visit www.livefreeliverich.com or simply Google my name and you can find out. For those of you who know, welcome to the show. You can go ahead, leave a comment down below, or say hi in the chat so I can know who stopped by. For those of you who don't know, this is a live event that I host or I put on every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. I think pretty soon I'm going to be pushing it to 9 p.m. Might actually start that next week. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on my social tab and on my social networks. But basically, as far as I'm concerned, this is your show. I give you my time and I play producer. I man the controls. But as far as this being a show is, that's relies completely upon you guys and what you contribute. In other words, you give me something to talk about, and there's 4 different ways that you can do that. And tonight, I'm going to give some examples of how that's done. I do have some people who contributed to the show for tonight. So tonight I have some books that I'm going to be talking about. I have a project announcement that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And then I have some contributions for a little reading time. Some people submitted some poetry and also an article for me to read. Now, another way, so basically what I'm saying is, what I think I'm going to do from here on out is I'm going to try and build up, kind of build up some interest for the live stream through all the different social networks. And the way this works is if you come in, you tune in during the live stream, stop by, say hi, you can leave a request in the chat, or you can, if you're watching this on the replay, you can leave a comment down below and leave links in your comment, make requests that way. But essentially what I'm noticing here is that there are 4, this is the way that this is turning into a show, is that if people are contributing, then I see that there's going to be 4 distinct segments to each live stream. So that means 4 different ways for you guys to contribute to the show in terms of submitting things that you would like to raise awareness for, you'd like a shout out for, but also don't forget, if you are a part of the chat, then during the live stream, then you are very much a part of the show as well, because you can share your 2 cents, share your opinions, give your insights, and that gets shared during the actual live event, so people can see what it is that you guys have to say about whatever it is that I'm talking about during the show. But as far as content creators and artists go, there are 4 different ways that you can contribute. So like I said, if you are an indie writer, indie press, small press, you have a book out on the market that you would like to raise awareness for, all I need is the title of the book and the name of the author, and I can give you a shout out on the show. And then a second way is, if this is a new one, actually, I got this idea came to me through Twitter. And that is, the second way is announcements. If you have a project that you would like to announce, you would like to raise awareness for. So some examples of this would be like, if you have a Kickstarter event, if you have like an Indiegogo or something like that, that you would like to raise some awareness for, you would like to more people to know about, then you can share those, share a link to that with me. And wherever you see me posting about the live stream, asking for links, you can either comment on any of my live streams with a link to that, or any of my social media posts where I am asking for links to those sort of things. And another type of announcement that you could share with the live stream is if you are a small press or indie publisher and you have calls for submissions. So I think that would be a great one, because people who watch this might not just be readers or people who are just, casually watching the stream, but may also be writers that could be looking for side projects. So this would be a great place for you to share that information with me, so I can pass it along to people, to writers that may be interested in getting involved in those sort of projects. This could be anything. This could be for a book. This could be for a magazine. This could be for a blog. Anything. Any calls for submission, for writer submissions. A third segment of this live stream would be reading time. So for the reading time, that's where I will be reading blog posts that you guys, links to blog posts that you guys have submitted to me, which could be flash fiction, which could be poetry, which could be articles or essays. I will be reading those out loud. But if I don't have any links, blog links, then I may just use that time. If there's nothing else, then I could just use that time up to about a half hour, 45-minute, hour mark on the live stream to just simply do some reading for myself, and it would act as like a reading sprint, and I can just hang out with the audience and we can chit chat about whatever. And then the last segment, the fourth segment of the live stream. So if we had a full show where people are contributing to the show, and within the creative sphere, and they want to raise awareness, they want to get shout outs, the last segment of the show will be video requests. So this could be anything creative, as far as some examples would be, if you're in the Booktube, Authortube realm of YouTube, these could be tag videos. You want to see me watch your video, or you can either tag me on the video or leave a link. Like I said, comment with a link to the video that you want me to feature on the show. I'll watch the video. That would be the final segment of the live stream. I'll watch your video. If it's a tag, I'll try to play along, and I'll try to answer the tag questions live on the show while watching your video. Some other examples would be like comedy bits, skits, and stand-up routines. I'll watch those on the live stream. Another idea would be storytelling. So if you do like short story reading, or like a poetry presentation video of some sort where you're reading and you want me to watch it on the live stream, and then you can kind of get my reaction to it, or just I give you my initial impression of it, or what I think, or it's just to raise awareness for your YouTube channel in that sort of way. I'm willing to do that. Another would be like video essays, or like oratorical type speeches that are like philosophical, metaphysical, spiritual type stuff that are done as like a thought exercise, if you will, kind of spark some imagination and creativity. The only thing that I ask that I would say at this point that I'm not interested in doing on the live stream is anything to do with music. A couple reasons for that. One, even though I have very eclectic taste when it comes to music, I do like a little bit of different types of genres of music. I'm very specific when it comes to my taste. So on a personal note, I'm just really not interested in listening to shitty music for any length of time, or what I would think is shitty music. I just wouldn't have the patience for it. But also because YouTube is very trigger happy when it comes to copyright strikes whenever it comes to music. And if not YouTube, then maybe some other social network, because I'm going to be sharing the live stream on a bunch of different social networks. So they may flag it for copyright if there's music involved. So basically at this point, I'm just avoiding, I'm not even monetized yet. So I don't want to be getting copyright strikes and stuff like that before I'm even involved in the game, so to speak. So I'm just avoiding music altogether. So that's it. So if we get a nice full show where you guys are contributing links, and that's the thing, is I don't want to have this summary. I'm already 11 minutes into my stream now. I don't want to have to do this summary every single stream, but until I get people engaged in the live stream, get people contributing links to the show to raise awareness for whatever their YouTube channels, their blogs, their books, projects, and start utilizing this, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep reiterating this summary of what this stream is all about, because this may be the first time anybody is seeing it, and there's not a lot of word of mouth getting around yet as to what it is that I'm doing here. So I'm going to have to keep doing this summary. So hence the name of this particular live stream, Fill Up My Queue. So that's why I've come to the realization that a better way to go about doing this is I'm going to be sharing the stream around on all my social networks and trying to collect as many links and books and all that ahead of time, so I can get a nice backlog of stuff that I can share during the live stream. This is not to say that you can't still tune in during the live stream, be a part of the show, because that will always be a way for you to kind of get a shout out, like especially if you're on YouTube, that's kind of a way to get a shout out for your channel without having to necessarily contribute any content to the show, by just showing up, saying hi, so everyone can know who stopped by, type of deal. And you can get your shout out that way as well. So that's what I initially want. I want to put this out there because for me, it's like a way of being able to engage with my peers and people that are in the Booktube, Authortube realm and creative sphere in general. So tonight, so like I say, if we have a nice full show, we could have up to 4 separate segments. Tonight, we have 3 segments that I'm going to be doing. So we have some books, we have an announcement, and then I'm going to be doing some reading. So let me get into it. Let's see if I can get some practice in here too with making these transitions. So last week during the show, I noticed that J.R. Carroll had stopped by and said hi. And I know for a fact that he is an independent author. So I would like to give his book, it'd only be right that I give his book the first shout out on this live stream. All right. All right. J.R. Carroll, we have More Than a Vampire, which is actually from his series. It's from his series More Than Human, which it's, I know he has the second book of this series. It's good timing on this because the second book of this series should be coming out pretty soon here. I think it's this week, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken. So let me read the blurb on this one. This one is More Than a Vampire. I'm pretty sure, because I watch him on YouTube as well, and I'm pretty sure the next one in this series is called More Than a Gunslinger. So a Western style. This one is a vampire story. More Than a Vampire. I don't know any more about it. I haven't read it yet. I know this one is actually on my TBR. So let me read this. In the shadows of a hidden world, the turned live forever. Was the peace between the four clans in danger? His job for 200 years was to hunt rogue vampires. Simon did it well. His clan depended upon him, and keeping things in balance suited Simon. Everything changed in 1639. That's when he met Lena. Lena was born to a traveling merchant family. As a teenager in Alexandria, Egypt, she stopped a shoplifter. The shop owner offered to pay for her education. That's how she became part of the world of vampires. She rose to political liaison. For her, Simon was a double-edged sword. Would they have to choose between love and loyalty? You'll adore this story of forbidden love, because this hero's journey just might last an eternity. Get it now. And that is from J.R. Carroll. All right. So now we're going to get into the social media shout-outs. Well, not social media shout-outs. It's still book shout-outs, but these are shout-outs that I collected from my social networks. So let me see if I can do this without it freezing. So this first one is came from Twitter. It's from Ellie J. She says, let's see if we can make this better here. There we go. She says, action, drama, secrets, and sarcasm. The Secrets series is a thriller trilogy that focuses on a family at war with the Russian mafia, but the narration is snarky. Sounds exciting? Then please consider supporting this indie author for Indie April. Well, May now, but don't let that stop you. Is the Secret series. So let's check this out. Let's see what this one's all about. Okay. Boom. Boom. How about that? All right. So we have a trilogy here. I'll read this. Is what I'll do. There's two. There's a blurb for the overall trilogy, and then I'll read the blurb for book 1 of the trilogy, which is Secrets of the Volkovs. So this is the trilogy blurb. The Secrets series spans across over 20 years as one family spend generations trying to break a city free from the sinister grasp of a powerful Russian mafia family with twisted secrets to hide and dark plans. Who will triumph and at what cost? And then here is the blurb for Secrets of the Volkovs. Disappearances, deaths, threats. The local police are beginning to suspect all these crimes are linked. They're being committed by the sinister and mysterious Volkov family. There's just one problem. They can't prove it. In order to take down the Volkovs and put a stop to these crimes, they call in a young, ambitious policeman, Antonin Jelinsky. Antonin travels hundreds of miles, leaving his fiancée behind to go undercover and infiltrate the Volkovs' organization. He pins down incriminating evidence, but he finds far more than they ever expected. Can he expose the dark secrets of the Volkovs and stop their crimes before it's too late? That is the Secrets trilogy. So both of those kind of end on a question. Blurbs are difficult. I'll have the links for all these books are going to be in the description. Once I finish the live stream, I'll be putting everything that I give a shout out, everything that I mention or feature in the stream that is mentioned. A featured mention will be in the description. All right, we got a couple more books, and then we'll do the project, and then we'll get into the reading. It's another one from Twitter. And this one comes from Dana D. Dana D says, imagine if you can utilize the talents of the most brilliant minds in history by zapping them to the present in a search for existential clues and answers, and imagine the chaos that would ensue. Check out Einstein in the Attic, available now. All right, let's see what Einstein in the Attic is all about. that an Apple logo? Is that an Apple logo on the book? Einstein in the Attic. All right, we have some quotes. A one-of-a-kind hit capturing audiences, hearts everywhere. An excellent book that is worth the time. That is from Paul Lappin of Reedsy Discovery. A search for truth by those that transcend time. Here's the blurb. Got everything on screen. Very good. Set against the backdrop of the war between science and God, reason and faith, Einstein in the Attic is the story of one scientist's search for truth and meaning when faced with the ultimate question, is there a God? Fleeing war-torn Lebanon, Adam Remy's faith is shaken by the hardships he has endured. But when he and a colleague successfully construct a nanohadron collider and using sound waves, Adam finds unheard of power at his fingertips to help him answer the greatest question mankind has ever posed. He zaps the best philosophical minds of all time, namely Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Søren Kierkegaard, and Baruch Spinoza from the past and into his attic. Not all goes according to plan, however, and Adam finds himself in a race against time to formulate an answer to the question of intelligent design, or risk losing everything. Noticing a trend. I'm noticing a trend here with these, with the stories. It's an all or nothing sort of stakes, which I really don't know what to think about that. All or nothing. I almost wish you'd be a little bit more specific in the blurb. However, with blurbs, I mean, I say that even though, I don't know, blurbs really don't have to give away anything of the plot per se. I mean, it can kind of just get you enticed, but you guys let me know. You know, that's how you become a part of the show as far as the audience go. Like, you guys share your 2 cents. Are you finding, you know, what do you think of these blurbs? Rate these blurbs, or give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes or a no as far as, you know, does any particular blurb, do you find the blurb to be weak? Do you find the blurb to be strong? Does the blurb compel you to want to buy the book? Share these thoughts. That's how you can become a part of the show in that way. That is Einstein in the Attic by Dana Dargos. We have one more book shout out. For this live stream. I have more book shout outs, but I decided to keep the live stream, have something to do for next week. So for those of you, if you post, well, I'll say this after. We'll do a little intermission, if you will. This next one comes from Grady P. Brown off of Twitter. He says, Grady says, my dinosaur books are available for 99 cents each. And then down at the bottom, there's a link. I'll share the link in the description. But he also says, a prehistoric experiment gone horribly wrong. Well, what is that, you might ask? That is the Caligan or Caligan experiment by Grady P. Brown. This installment entitled Genesis. All right, here's the blurb. Dr. Edgar Cruz was a young autistic prodigy who wanted to change the world. He gets his chance when he participates in the most ambitious and elaborate ecological experiment in the history of mankind. Edgar's contribution results in the creation of a new breed of dinosaurs unlike any the planet has ever seen. For a decade, the experiment goes swimmingly until it is sabotaged by a group of extremists. Now, Edgar and his research team must escape from the very primal ecosystem they created. Along the way, they encounter evolutionary mutations no one has ever dreamed of. Follow a band of survivors as they endure the hike from hell. As the Caligan experiment, Genesis by Grady P. Brown. I just wanted to share some first impressions on that. First impressions definitely get a little bit woke vibes out of this, and there was a couple reasons why. I'm getting the vibes, the woke vibes. I'm not saying I really can't share any opinions on the story itself without actually reading it. In fact, I'm going to just to test my theory, I'm going to go ahead and add this book to my TBR right now as I speak. But there's a couple reasons why I'm getting the woke vibes from this. For one, the use of the adjective here. He says autistic prodigy. So clearly, this is a story that is character driven, but it's character driven, which leads me to believe that it's character driven. I'm not saying it is. I haven't read it yet, but I'm saying it leads me to believe that that the story is character driven, but it's based, but that characterization revolves around this adjective of being autistic. So basically what that's what I mean by the woke vibes, is that clearly this is a story that revolves around representation of some sort. And then the second clue was the use of the word extremists. So that kind of leads me to believe that there's a little bit of identity politics going on here, which is another cliche of woke fiction. So it's on the list. I'll see. I should make a whole separate video of basically breaking down like what woke fiction is, because I think that a lot of people, like in the Booktube, well, maybe not necessarily like in the Booktube, because I think that a lot of people in Booktube, they read a lot, especially those who read a lot in the Booktube community. Like they're already privy. They know, you know, they're very, those who are well read, in other words, like they know, like they've seen the cliches, they know the tropes, and like I think that they understand what I mean by when I say like woke fiction. But maybe people in the Authortube community aren't so privy as to what I mean by woke fiction or what it means for there to be woke fiction. Like, especially like people who write woke fiction, like they may think that it's just people like just hating on representation, and that's not the case whatsoever. It's not to say that there's anything wrong with having representation in fiction. It's just that the stories themselves don't tend to be very compelling because of certain cliches that show up time and time again whenever someone writes woke fiction. And that's the type of stuff that I want to talk about, but I'll make that in a separate video. The live stream, the chill stream, is not time for me to get on my soapbox. So that warrants a completely separate video. So that's the books. If you have a book on the market, I encourage you to share your book on the live stream. Like you just saw right there, I may share my first impressions. I may, but other than that, I'll give your book a shout out on the stream, and you can raise some awareness for your book in the market and let some people know what's going on out there in the underground scene, what's available out there. So moving into this next one, this is the announcements for projects. So this is exciting because, especially for those of you involved in like Booktube, Authortube, and stuff like that, like, and you know about like the whole Brandon Sanderson thing, the Kickstarter project that he had, and how that's kind of like changing the whole, it's changing the game. It's we're definitely, like, what you guys are watching right now, this live stream, like this is culture right here. Like this is like, I mean, not trying to like come off with some sort of well, toot my own horn or anything like that. I don't mean it in that way, but I mean how I'm interacting with the community. Like this right here, this is the future. This is the new paradigm coming into fruition. Like this is the future right here, and this is the new culture. Like the Hollywood ways, the old style ways, the gatekeeping ways, those are all going away. Like this is it. This is how we interact. This is how we build the market. This is how we shape the market, by getting involved, collaborating with each other, giving back, sharing with each other, and engaging with each other in this way, just individually. Individuals making choices and getting in contact with other individuals who are doing their own part and contributing in their own way to shape the market, because everything's going to be going independent. It's not going to be, I mean, there will be like, this is not to say that there won't be like individual like companies and brands out there that may have, you know, more, that may represent more than just one individual. But what I'm saying is that it's not going to be on like the grand scale. It's still going to be individuals. Like you may have like one individual working with this small press, that small press, or these different types of indie publishers. You do a little bit of work here, a little bit of work there, but you're still representing yourself as an individual creative. So let's get into this. So another way is when it comes to investing in projects, that's changing. The game is changing on that too. No longer do you have to have connections and get into, get representation and stuff like that to get you in front of venture capitalists and people who will back your projects. Now it's all public funding for projects. And that is this one right here, this announcement that I'm going to be sharing. this came through, this person contacted me through Twitter. They have a project that they wanted me to share with you guys. Okay, let me go back here in this folder. And so this comes from Magic Gal Media, and her project Black Rhapsody is a horror comic about a group of singers powered by magic will have to save humanity from an evil goddess turned pop star who is hell bent on taking over the world. So seems like it might be a little bit of campy fun here. Let's check it out. Let's check out the Indiegogo page. We'll have two things. We'll check out the Indiegogo page first and foremost, because that's the link that I'm going to be sharing in the description of this live stream, and then we'll go check out the Twitter. Because I don't know, there's no name attached to it. That's the only thing. It's just a project as of right now. So I don't know if it's like a brand thing or what. But this is not my endorsement of the project. This is just me raising awareness for the project. So you guys can go check it out for yourself and make up your own mind. Here we go. So, Black Rhapsody, Part 1, campaign. This is the campaign mailing list. This is Indiegogo. Musical Magical Girls versus Lovecraftian Pop Star. So you got the mailing list. Get access to a secret tier and a unique trading card by signing up. You will also receive the latest updates and news from the campaign. So I think this is more impeccable timing here, because I believe this person had contacted me on Twitter, and this project actually goes live later this week. I don't know if it's Friday, this Friday it's going live or what. But if you guys are interested, there you go. The music industry can be so cutthroat. Black Rhapsody Part 1 is a 35 plus page black and white horror cult thriller comic. The story is about magical idols named after mythological goddesses fighting an uphill battle to overthrow an evil pop star from the musical charts and save the world. We got some artwork here. You can get a little taste of the artwork. Let me make this. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this. There. Oh, let's do that. There, look better like that. There, you guys get a little taste of the art there, the art style. So black and white. Goddesses, music, and horror. This new comic series takes the darkness of Puella Magi, Madoka Magica. I'll be honest with you, I have no freaking clue what the hell that is. Is that some sort of is that some sort of manga or something? Or a comic? An anime show? Anyways, it does the Puella Magi, Madoka Magica, and combines it with the horrific ultra-violence of Berserk. Now, I've heard of Berserk. I haven't read Berserk, but I've heard of that one. With a bit of Gem and the Holograms sprinkled in. Isn't that like a 70s cartoon? Gem and the Holograms. So here's some more of the artwork. Choose from an array of divine blessings. I think this has to do with the project. Backers can choose from many different perks, such as exclusive posters and variant covers. Let me get some more of that artwork. Anytime I look at this style, can you see my mouse here? Anytime I look at this style of like art, this like anime style, I can't help but like hear those like cliche sounds that you'd hear in animes all the time. Like this chick's face right here. She's like, and then some record deals are just too good to be true. There's a reason why they say don't look back. So get access to the secret tier and a unique trading card if you want to sign up. You get on that Indiegogo mailing list. Now, one more thing to share. I'll check the I'll show you the Twitter account on that. I think there's a little bit extra information. Oh no, that's what I was going to show you was the cover, or at least the cover for the project. Color image there. That is Black Rhapsody. Doesn't say who it's by. So what I'm going to do here, I showed you, right? Take that off. Stop screen. So right here, Magic Gal Media. That's the company that is launching this project, and that is their Twitter handle right there, which I'll leave in the description as well. All right, not too shabby. Now we're going to get into the reading. Not doing bad on time. I have three pieces of content that I will read for this live stream, and then we'll call it a wrap after that. So just for those of you who submitted a link to the live stream, I'll just let you know, especially my Mainers out there. I see you, Mainers. You are on the list. If you commented on one of my posts on social media sharing a link and I liked your comment, then that means you can consider yourself on the list. So I haven't gotten to you. If I didn't get to you on this live stream event, you can tune in next week, next Monday, and I'll get to you and I'll continue right down the list. And that's what I want to do, is I want to fill up the queue. I want a steady stream of people sharing things, and we turn this into a show. We turn this into a thing. And that's going to be completely reliant on you guys. All right, let's get into the next one. I was going to say something. What was I going to say? This next one comes from the Twitter. This next one comes from the Twitter. From the Twitter. This next one comes from the Twitter. It is from user Nitin. Nitin RS. Nitin says, "Hi, happy Thursday." Okay, I'll stop with the accent. But here's the thing. I'll tell you right now. When it comes all the different accents that I like to speak with, that one never fails to put a smile on my face. But Nitin says, "This is my 400th blog post." Mr. Prolific over here. The poem is called An Adventure in the Forest. Thank you. Well, thank you, Nitin, for contributing to the show, turning this into something. That is Nitin's blog. Let's check this out. Nitin. Nitin's poetry. An Adventure in the Forest by Nitin RS. Let's go for an adventure in the lush forest of pine trees, with bare essentials to survive, walking along the ancient trails left behind by the local tribals. Let's find a safe place to set up, a hut for shade from the rain, and barrier against the animals, with tree branches and mud, thatched roof with the grass, a fireplace to remain warm, a rocket stove for cooking. Let's sleep with the warmth of each other and fireplace. Let's wake up to a new dawn amidst the tall trees of history. Let's walk through the fog toward the wild vineyard and taste the mist from the wild grapes before the sunrise. Let's find the lake to swim when the water is still cold. Collect pristine water from stream for brewing, wild berries for tea. Let's forage in the wild for safe fruits, mushrooms, and roots. Hunt some small animals too, and cook them while sun sets. I would have thought it probably would have sounded better with small game there, but who am I to complain? We can enjoy the dinner with fermented wild berries and grapes. We can enjoy a memorable spring amidst the nature away from city. We could drench in the rain and play like kids. With nobody to bother, we could explore the hills and valleys. We could make love in a bed of wildflowers. Hey now. Enjoy the wild fragrance. We could find wild honey to sweeten our brews and sparkle on our foggy mornings. Let's build a tree shelter for safety to escape from wild animal attacks. Let's enjoy the wildlife for some days. A lonely world to keep falling in love. That is from Nitin RS. Gotta be honest with you, I'm not a huge poetry guy, so I don't really have much to say about it. It is what it is. I'll leave a link to Nitin's blog. Maybe he has other things on there, perhaps short stories, something like that, but he chose to share that piece of poetry with the live stream. Nitin, you can share other things as well. I'll put you back on the list if you want to share other pieces of poetry, or if you have short story. I would if you write flash fiction, I would be interested to see what you come up with for flash fiction. I'm not a huge poetry guy. I'll read it, but I'm not big on poetry. All right. This next one comes from Ekta. Ekta says, my latest blog, the importance of looking through a kaleidoscope, and thoughts about my second collection of poetry entitled 22. So this one's kind of a dual shout out. This is going to be a piece of poetry written by her that I believe is also featured in her book entitled 22, which is a collection of her poetry. And that is her WordPress. From Ekta Sumera. All right. All right, Ekta Sumera, the importance of looking at life through a kaleidoscope. Interesting title. Okay, so she starts off with a quote here. If today gets difficult, remember the smell of coffee, the way sunlight bounces off a window, the sound of your favorite person's laugh, the feeling when a song you love comes on, the color of the sky at dusk, and that we are here to take care of each other. Oh, that is by Nania Hoffman. All right. Go like this. I make it. There we go. At a young age, my parents separated, and that ripped me into two. A part of me longed to fit in my father's arms as I grew. Another part of me wished my mother did not go away. At school, I was mocked for being a few shades darker in complexion. My friends would turn the light on when I walked into a room, and they called me names that stung beneath my skin. My childlike sense turned into another wound I nursed through high school. I spent years being sad, with an anchor thrust into my chest, weighing me down. I strung balloons around my waist and tried to fly. I swallowed helium, but that only made me squeal. I complained so much I became ill. My arms were embellished with the art of blood and graffiti. That's, geez, gruesome. That turned up a notch. Home to home, I carried my boxes filled with passion and rage, until one day I toppled them over and they turned into a mosaic. It took a long time, but I finally realized that sometimes we must look at life through a kaleidoscope to understand the essence of our feelings. From the gentle specks of dust floating on a promenade of some sunlight to the moon that strums the ocean waves, there is a profound truth hidden in the melody, and those who look carefully sometimes find the invisible threads that connect the universe. We pick flowers and they grow back. We scatter pieces of ourselves in search of meaning. I actually like that line quite a bit. We scatter pieces of ourselves in search of meaning. I like that. Surely there must be others who felt this way. I have often wondered what it would feel like to have some whimsical change happen to me, something my whole life has been leading up to. I did not know when or whether it would ever happen, but I kept waiting impatiently. I looked up at the sky today and something happened. A flock of birds carrying a string of sound flew by. It was the missing chord, the reason why my heart beat off key. I felt overwhelmed and excited. Was I having an epiphany? It was somewhat of an awakening, a sudden realization that we travel through clouds and across the sea in search of new scenery, when we can simply look up at the natural palette of colors unraveling each day, and as the birds follow their instinct, we will find our way. I almost feel like it would have made more sense right there at the end if she said, we will also find our way. And as the birds follow their instinct, we will also find our way. But we will find our way. It's very sure. And that, I suppose, is a sample from her poetry collection entitled 22 by Ekta Sumera. Ekta. This one comes from Ekta. Thank you, Ekta, for sharing your poetry. All right. Not bad time, just a little over an hour. We're down to the last reading. This is good for me because I can kind of gauge like how long this is going to take. I want to keep the streams to around about an hour's time. And like I said, a lot of that time it was me like explaining and summarizing at the beginning of the stream. And the more people that share and contribute to the stream, the less I'll have to do that every stream. This next one comes from Linda. Linda. Linda, this is an article. Help us out. Linda's going to help us out. Here's how you get to work on that dreaded task. Okay, you creative people, pay attention. You want to get down to business. Linda's going to tell us how it's done. 4 ways to get into a flow when you hate something. Well, I don't know if you hate. I don't know if it's so much if you hate your project. It's a passion project. But in order to get your passion project done, you got to stop hating the fact that you actually have to sit your ass down and get it done. So here we go. This is 4 ways to get into a flow state when you hate something by Linda NG from Twitter. That's her Twitter handle down there. This is actually a third-party website. This is not her website, but this is a guest post. I suppose this is a guest post that she had on that website. So we'll read it. We'll give her a shout out. And I'll link her Twitter in the description of this video. All right. Four ways to get into a flow when you hate something. When you hate something. This isn't easy. It is difficult to get into a flow state to begin with. Now you have to get into a flow state to do something you hate. Man. So, why am I writing this story? Well, I was inspired by Samuel Tan's story on how to get into a flow state. It's a great piece with many eye-opening tips and fresh ideas. Then I thought, what about getting into a flow states for tasks that I don't particularly enjoy? Well, I thought long and hard. Here are 4 ways that you can potentially get through all those unpleasant but necessary tasks. What's the reward? This is a great way to motivate yourself. Reward yourself for a job well done. Actually, it says, reward yourself for a job done well. Once you complete your task, promise that you'll get yourself a nice ice cream cone. Linda. I am disappointed in your missed opportunity to say cupcakes here, Linda. That should have been cupcakes, not ice cream. Once you complete your task, promise that you'll get yourself a nice cupcake. Or maybe you get to watch your favorite show. Whatever your designated reward is, now you have something to move you along and get started on your task. Well, I want to eat that bag of Ruffles, sour cream, and onion chips. Before I do that, I must run for 1 hour on the treadmill. Boom! That's enough incentive for me. I'm doing it right now. Well, treat the task as a challenge. Many people love a good challenge. Or maybe you're a competitive person. You're always in it to win it. Well, focus on the winning mindset and get to your task. If you can finish it by the end of the day, you are a winner. Sometimes you just need to look at something from a different perspective. The task is not just any old task now. Challenge accepted. One step at a time. If you're having trouble convincing yourself to start the said hated task, start with one small step. For example, if you have to write an annoying essay for class, start by opening up the assignment. Type in the title first and start thinking about what you want to write. Once you activate the start of the flow, it's easier to start immersing yourself in the dreaded task. Little by little, you'll probably start writing more, and now you're on your way to a great flow. Tell your aunt I say hello. Break it up. Imagine taking a hammer and hitting rocks to pieces. One large rock might be too heavy to carry, but after shattering the rocks into smaller pieces, you can now lift each piece with ease. Oh, God. Similarly, if it's a large, annoying task you have to complete, break it up into manageable sections. Maybe you hate it because it's so tedious and extremely boring. Instead of trying to finish the task all in one shot, break it up into smaller chunks. And hey, maybe the act of breaking it up will create the intended flow state and you'll just get the whole thing done instead. Bloody hell! Yay! Congratulations! You've made it to the end of the story. Now you know how to get into a flow for your own hated task. Check out Samuel's story here to read about his take on getting into flows. Once you're done checking out the stories, try to get started on your task, whether you hate it or not. Good luck! That is by Linda NG. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda. That is it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done with this live stream. I'll be here next week. I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be chopping this up, sharing on social medias, trying to get some more folks. Share your books, share your flash fiction, your poetry, share your project announcements, your Kickstarters, your call for submissions, share some videos. I'd like to do some videos, get this fourth segment of the show rolling, if you will. Give me some more to talk about, break down, insights. Well, anyway, thank you. I will be here next Monday. Okay? I will be here Monday. Next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Have a good day.